Welcome back to Better Dig 2, the husband and wife horror podcast bringing our couch conversations to the masses. I'm your host, Maddie.
And I'm your host, Shrade.
Grab a seat on the couch and let's talk horror.
Maddie, my love, I know this is going to take a whole lot of imagination. I need you to imagine with me for just a moment. You are some sort of evil entity. You're tasked with cursing people. You have to make a cursed object that someone has to use in order to get the curse. What is your object and what is your curse?
Toilet paper.
Okay.
Dysentery.
Oh, God. All right. Well, I went with something a little less horrifying. I did a toothbrush that gives gingivitis instead of takes it away.
Oh,
Yeah.
same thought. Just,
I'm going to be the terror of 9 out of 10 dentists.
A little more PG.
Yeah, for sure.
A little more survivable.
No, but in all seriousness, this week we do get to talk about Whistle. We watched it independently, which is, I think this is the first movie review we'll be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it this afternoon while you were at work. You got to watch it after work. It was not as fun of a viewing experience, I think, as if we would have been in the same room.
No, it never is.
Well,
We always have our like commentary, and if we talk shit, we talk shit, or if we, give kudos during the movie,
that's fair.
Yeah.
I talked to Bailey a lot during the movie.
Yeah, she got to watch it twice.
Ooh, girl, I'm sorry. No,
Don't call the ASPCA on us.
it was.
That was animal cruelty.
Ooh, you know what? Now I feel bad. You'll get an extra treat before we go to bed. Okay. Go ahead and kick us off with Whistle, my love.
Whistle, written by Owen Egerton, which he had some other credits, but nothing I immediately recognized.
Fair.
Directed by Corin Hardy. He also had some. Most notably was directed The Nun.
Oh, okay.
Starring Daphne Keane as Chris, which is
Chrysanthemum.
Daphne Keane, from Logan. What was one of the other ones? Obviously, like Deadpool versus Wolverine. There was another one, kind of sci-fi. I can't remember the name. I know we didn't watch it. Let's see. Sophie, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Nelise as Ellie.
I think you crushed it.
Yeah. I only know her from Heated Rivalry. And then Sky Yang as Rel. So those are just the top 3 build casts. Honestly, this one had quite a few recognizable faces in it.
Yeah,
which
I didn't
was
expect
surprising.
Nick Frost to pop in.
Yeah, which I feel like he's kind of popping up. He does that, though.
That's Hagrid, dude.
Yeah, that's our new Hagrid.
Sick.
That is, what did I say earlier? He is the John C. Reilly to Will Ferrell, but he's as is to Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll talk about it later, but there was lots of notable faces, or lots of recognizable faces, which I was really surprised with. So
yeah, they did pop up randomly. But for Whistle, we are going to do a brief summary. A misfit group of unwitting high school students stumble upon a cursed object, an ancient Aztec death whistle. They discover that blowing the whistle and the terrifying sound it emits will summon their future deaths to hunt them down. And as always, before we get into the main body of our review, it is not spoiler free. We are full of spoilers. If you do not want the movie to be spoiled for you in any way, shape, or form, go watch it and come back. You have been warned. Turn back now. All right. So our lovely rubric, acting quality.
okay, I gave it a 3.
Gave it a 3 as well. There were some notable faces, just not a whole lot of notable performances.
Yeah, the more notable faces didn't have much screen time.
Yeah.
Like, so the ones that are good actors didn't have a lot of screen time. And I would argue that the lack of acting quality could be contributed to the lackluster script. I feel like it was
Yeah.
not great writing.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have much to go off of.
No, I completely agree with that.
Okay.
Visual effects, cinematography.
I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 3.
So it definitely wasn't going to get that high. And then when we started getting to the kills and the entity and the different forms it took, I thought they looked good. Look, had some practical effects. The parts that had to have been CGI were still pretty good.
Yeah, it was none of it was like terrible CGI for sure. But like some of the practical effects were not my favorite.
Okay.
Like the prop department did a fantastic job with the whistle itself. There was a lot of storytelling in the foreground of a lot of these scenes, which I thought was really, really good. And then the background was a little more sparse than I would have liked.
Okay.
But again, that's just a personal preference. I think where it kind of fell apart on the practical side was like when she's running through the maze, we get, saggy titties, death of old age, and it just did not look, it looked like a rubber suit. It was not my favorite.
The close-ups though looked good though. So that's,
yeah, that's fair. It's just, it felt cheap. Like if we compare it to the mortuary assistant and like that entity's special, like practical effects.
Yeah.
I'm not the movie as a whole. Don't scowl. But for me, the practical effect of the entity just kind of fell flat.
In that one instance?
In that one instance, because the rest of it was pretty decent CGI.
Yeah.
So that's like, just a small gripe.
Okay.
Audio, I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 3.5. It had good spots where it was like the whispers but other than that, just nothing.
I like the soundtrack. I thought the soundtrack was good.
Remarkable.
Hater.
It didn't really stick with me, I guess.
That's okay.
They talked a lot about music, like good music, but they didn't really do much with it.
Fair. I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really well mixed. A lot of the sound effects on our surround sound system were really, really well done with casting some of those whispers, like you said. And the Aztec whistle itself was really, really cool.
Thankfully, they only did it like once because
I think that's probably the best part because they only did it once. When Nick Frost's character blows it, it's silent. It's contained into a room. But when is it Sophie?
Grace.
It's Grace. I think her name is Sophie in real life. Is that right?
No, that's the other girl, the redhead.
Oh.
Her name's Sophie in real life.
Okay. Anyway, our rich, brilliant girl, she blows the whistle once, basically enacts this whole monstrosity, hunting them down, killer entity thing. And I thought it was really fucking cool. It was very eerie, very almost kind of like tone deaf to some extent, if that makes sense. Where the pitch had kind of had that warble to it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's fucking cool. So I gave it a 4.
Okay.
Story. 2.5.
I gave it a 3.
I think it was so reliant on exposition, and we needed specialized characters in specialized places to make the story work.
Yeah. I don't know. It was fine. I mean, that's lower than a passable, if you're looking at it, it's like if a 70, which would be a 3.5, would be passable.
No, 2.5.
It was fine.
Yeah, it was. I think it was passable. It's complete middle for me. I don't do the whole like 70% passing thing. It's like you were middle of the road. You did exactly what you needed to be a bare minimum movie.
There were times when it felt like it was really progressing fast, but had it gone any slower, it would have been like, okay, I'm gonna DNF this.
Yeah, I agree. Scariness.
I gave it a 3.5. I got some good cringes
Okay.
out of the kills. Creepy crawly old lady was creepy.
Yeah. Anytime that you make an elderly woman run or move faster than she should, it is a little
Or
uncanny.
crawl around,
Upside down crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gave it a 3 on scariness. I know that gore for you and gore for me are two very different things, where you definitely cringe back from it a little bit more than I do.
It's just that
for me, I'm
it's
just
like you can feel it.
ooh,
And these
yeah.
kills were just like, ooh.
Yeah, and there were some really cool effects that we're going to get to talk about later that really like save this movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But again, like jump scares were not the most prevalent, which I
No.
thought was good.
Yeah.
It did a good
It didn't
amount.
rely on jump scares.
Mm-hmm. It did not give me the like unnerving of like we've had really popular haunting entity movies, and it was done a little bit more menacing and a lot better.
Yeah.
These seem more random, so for me it was just kind of like, you know what I mean?
Like random
timing. So like there was no consistency to
like
the frequency
progression
of
or
them.
something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if we had again another magical side character, it was like, well, the further away you were from the whistle,
yeah.
you know, the fucking that's the order it gets you in, and it's like that makes no sense.
Which
what are we doing?
is almost how it played out.
Yeah, but I feel like you've already spoon fed me so much. Like that was one of the thoughts that I had. I was like, okay, it's going in the order that they were in proximity to the whistle itself.
Well, and I mean, it definitely started with like the person who blew the whistle.
Yeah, which 100% makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It just, I feel like it missed that plot point.
Yeah. Kind of how, so this felt like Final Destination vibes. The whole, like, it's all about fate.
I think it felt like Final Destination like 4.
I don't know. I don't remember them. Yeah. But I'm just like, it gave like Final Destination vibes where it's like, you can't escape death. Death is coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so yeah, if it was like a progression thing, which is like how Final Destination happens, if they would have given something for it to like make sense,
I agree.
where if they're trying to figure out the solution to it, to know who's like coming next, it was just, yeah. So I understand what you say, how it felt random, but
yeah. Enjoyability.
3.5.
3.5. It was fine. It would have been cool if you were here.
It got better as it went on, thankfully, because it did not start out strong. And I was just, like I said, I was like getting ready to DNF it and just saying like, well, that's gonna have to be in my review. Like I couldn't even get through it, but it did get better. So I guess if I was to tell somebody, like, if they were watching it, I would say at least stick it out. It gets better. So.
Yeah, I agree to that. I thought it was fine. Me and Fat Babby enjoyed it. Like we just chilled on the couch. She got pets. I wasn't on my phone throughout the entire movie. You know, it was just it just had too much ebb and flow.
Yeah.
For what I wanted out of this. It was not as bad as Tarot, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Which was the movie that I initially kind of put it against.
Similar feelings, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And then our final category, bonus points.
Okay. I gave it 2 bonus points.
Okay.
So my first bonus point I gave was for just the cast. It was good casting. I mean, there was a bunch of known names. So sometimes they do that. You know, they're hanging everything on the names and the people to get people to watch it. This one, they were surprises. Like someone would pop up and I was like, I didn't know they were in this.
Mm-hmm.
So they weren't like relying on that. So it makes me think that either they spent a lot of the budget just getting some of these people. They're not like big names, but there was a lot of, better known.
Yeah, familiar faces.
Yeah, and so I was like, did they spend more money to get these names and faces where they could have maybe spent a little more on some writing?
Yeah.
But I mean, either they spent the money on the cast or they spent the money on, I mean, some good effects. They
Yeah.
could have been really bad.
Yeah, 100%. Again, I'm just nitpicking.
Yeah, and they did a good mix of practical and CGI. But so just a point for the cast in general.
Okay.
So because I had some little surprises, like, oh, they're in this. So and then my second one was for the kills. I thought they were good. They were gross, and they weren't, a couple of them were like drawn out, and it just kept getting cringier, and they were bloody, and it was like you could just feel it, but it was a really cool way that they did it.
Yeah.
And it felt fresh. Like,
oh yeah, I think there was a bunch of really cool ideas.
We've seen similar kills, like think Black Phone, where you couldn't see him like causing the damage, or some of the other ones like couldn't see him because it was like Ghost. This was similar. You couldn't see what was causing the damage, but as the audience, we knew what it was. And so it was really cool that they could portray that death, and without seeing what was causing it, you could still visualize it.
Yeah.
So
no, I think it was really cool.
We'll go deeper into that later. But.
Yeah. So you just did, those were your two, the cast and the kills.
Yeah.
Okay. I also gave it 2. Mine was for the maze.
Okay.
I thought that was really cool. I love the way that they shot it. Everything. It was just badass.
Yeah.
I want to go to there.
Yeah. It was a cool maze.
Yeah. And then the entity. It's a fun and unique idea.
Yeah.
It's your death that's hunting you. And I was worried that in the very beginning, without reading the description, because I went in pretty blind, that this was just like some weird Aztec fire god situation with the opening scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like it's been done before, but I'm okay with that. Like it's not so detrimental to the story for me to figure all this out.
Yeah.
Just, let me have this. And then when it changed through each one, I was like, oh, that's fucking way cooler.
It wasn't just some entity just killing. Yeah. It was catered or personalized each person. So yeah, I agree.
Okay. Final scores.
So my final was a 22.5. So it was just middle road C.
Okay. We gave it a 21. It was also C.
Yeah.
Just
that feels right. Yeah.
It's
wasn't
not the blockbuster movie of the year, but it
wasn't
still
great. Wasn't terrible. It was definitely one which I don't even know if it showed in theaters. I'm not sure, but if this would have been one that had I gone and watched it in theaters, I would have been like, okay, that was kind of a waste of money. But just being able to watch it at home,
yeah,
it's like, okay, that's where it needs to be. So,
hell yeah.
It's not the worst. Definitely not the worst horror movie I've watched on streaming. So
that's also true. Also very true. Okay. Well, that's it for the rubric. You want to go ahead and kick it off with our least favorite and favorite scenes?
So I had so many just gripes about this one, and I had a hard time trying to figure out if I wanted to put these in my like least favorite scenes or just some of my gripes. So, I might flip flop or some of them might overlap, but I had a lot of and they were just dumb things that were such an easy change, would have made this so much better all around.
Yeah.
Like simple changes would have made this so much better. And I'm just like, why did they not do it? So I'm going to kind of go, I always try to go in order of like in the story. In the movie. So my first one was, she's the new kid, gets to school with her cousin. They run into this like small group. They're not friends. And they kind of like, they're kind of bullying her as like the new kid that's like,
Well, Dean's a fucking asshole. Number one.
Well, yeah, but they're not friends. And so he kind of bullies her. She kicks him in the nuts.
Which was cool.
It was funny. And then they all get detention. And they're like, this is your fault. This is your fault. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They go to detention for like 5 minutes.
Agreed.
Because the teacher is going to try to go sell this whistle on, some auction site. And he's like, yeah, y'all need to get out of here. And then they're like, they leave detention and they're like, okay, you want to come back to my house? Like they're all of a sudden friends.
Yeah. If
like
that was
what
just
in the fucking Breakfast Club are we doing?
I can appreciate that. I think for me, if it was all dudes, that would 100% happen.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was 2 dudes, and they were the ones that like hated each other the most.
Yeah.
Because the one dude had the girlfriend that the other dude was pining over. So they definitely were not friends.
Do not steal that point from me. I will fight you.
I'm just saying, like, there's in no world, like, they didn't go through anything. They didn't bond over anything. They were in detention for 5 minutes. They left. And then they're like, hey, like, popular rich girl, hey, you want to come back to my house? And it's just like the 5 of them. And they're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we all have to write a 5-page essay on...
You want to go do it together?
What the fuck are we talking about?
It made no fucking sense.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so my next one comes at this little get-together. So, rich girl,
mm-hmm.
and it's after everyone leaves, so she's still writing this, like, essay that is now their replacement for detention.
Yeah.
And she's like in the hot tub and she has her laptop and her notebook and these like library books. First off, kids aren't going to get a fucking library book. And she's just in the hot tub and they're just like laid out. And you can even see the pages of the book are like warping and wrinkling from like the steam of the hot tub.
Yeah.
And her laptop's right there. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Well, she
like,
doesn't
we
have to
get
worry
it.
about
She's
that.
rich. Yeah, we get it. But I was like, this is so fucking dumb. Like, she's just in the hot tub, like, doing her homework. I was like, this is so stupid. So, okay. So there's those 2. There's those 2.
Okay. Is there more?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and these aren't just me gripes, especially these next 2. These should be gripes everyone has with this freaking movie.
Okay.
So the very first scene, very first death we see, he gets burnt alive in the shower, like the locker room shower after a basketball game.
Mm-hmm.
So, quick thing, your death comes for you, like however you were meant to die. If you blow the whistle, hear the whistle, whatever, it comes for you much sooner. And you end up dying at that time, like how you were supposed to die. So, like Grace, she was supposed to die at like 90, just of old age. So her body was like withered and she died like looking like a 90-year-old woman. So first death we see, he's burnt alive and in the locker room shower. So the Ellie, redheaded. So I have a couple of different things about her. So first off, she works at the hospital. She's like 17.
Dude, girls can have jobs.
They're high schoolers. You're not going to work in an ER at 17.
It's a shithole town.
I don't care.
They need all the help they can get.
Yeah, apparently. But I'm like, not even as like a volunteer or like a candy striper. I don't even think they have those anymore. But she's like a full-on like employee of this ER,
Maybe
right? She has access to medical records. I think she has access to medications, or she got them somehow. I think because I want to say she got those later from the hospital. I don't think those were just hers.
Yeah, I don't think you can roll around like a laundry basket deep of drugs and be like, you know what?
Yeah. So
It's just my daily supply.
she they go into they're trying to figure out, or looking into this first death, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, his death never sat right with me. He was burned alive in the shower and they blamed it on a gas leak. And I was like, what the fuck? He was immolated in the locker room shower and they ruled it as a gas leak?
I think they could have ruled it as just casualty of peaceful protest.
I was like, they could have, if they would have just left that out, I would have just kept it as that death is still under investigation.
Yeah.
Because first off, that's not how fucking gas leaks work. Like, you don't just spontaneously combust.
Well, maybe you don't.
There's got to be an ignition source. And I'm like,
that hot ass shower, dude.
Oh my God. And I'm like, oh, and so the guy's going to light on fire, but nothing's going to explode from a gas leak. Okay. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that definitely was very jarring to have to sit through that and be like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. I was like, oh, there is a gas leak. Are you fucking kidding me? It was so stupid. Okay. So, again, if they would have just left that out, I would have just assumed it was still under investigation because it had happened recently.
Yes.
And if this, shithole town is trying to figure out, hey, how did this kid burst into flames in the shower?
I think we just have another spontaneous dumbass outbreak in all of the adults and parents in this movie because they're all basically non-present.
Yeah. And that is included in a point I'm going to make later.
Okay.
Which another very simple change that would have just explained a lot of things in this movie. Okay, my last one of my least favorite scenes was she was using the defibrillator in a puddle of water.
It's conductive.
She was also in the puddle of water.
Maybe she just wanted to get a little, like a contact high. Just like
I was just
buzz.
I was like, girl, you say you work at the hospital.
Well, obviously she doesn't do a good job, Maddie.
No. Just like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here? And I guess in that same scene, and this was just kind of a little gripe, but the
Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Her eyes went cloudy. And some of the other characters that happened in their death, and it made sense because they were aged. And so it's cataracts or whatever. But your eyes don't just immediately go cloudy when you die.
Well, she was ODing on insulin. So maybe, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and clearly our redheaded feminine hero was also not a doctor.
No. Yeah, so.
Okay,
so for now, those are my least favorites.
Oh, okay.
I have gripes about other stuff that fell into different sections.
All right.
Okay.
You want me to take over with my least favorite scenes, or do you want to hop into your favorite scene?
We can stay on the negative train.
Okay. For me, I despise the trope of a high school teacher who just so happens to have the key piece of information on a very specific subculture that is so integral to the fucking plot that it would be just completely kaput had it.
Yeah.
I'm happy that we got Nick Frost. I think he's a great actor. I love his stuff. I am just a huge, him and Simon Pegg can do no wrong in my book. They're in the same movie. So for me, it's okay, cool. It's, I get to see Nick Frost. I vibe with it. He's another husky guy. And they gave him the most limp-dicked, shitty teacher stereotype. It just was bad.
But the funny thing about it is they immediately proved that whole character was null and void.
Exactly.
Because he made the comment about oh, we don't even need this information because you can just type it into the computer and get it. I'm like, yeah. So why did we create this stupid fucking character? He could have just been an assistant principal or something.
Yeah. And I think we'll talk about the point a little bit more in depth later, but this was not a high school movie.
No, it definitely should not have been based in a high school. And there was nothing about it that it was like, oh, well, that's why it had to be a high school. Nothing.
Yeah, there was absolutely no reason.
And yeah, that's
Okay.
that's one of my big points later.
The weird drug dealing preacher. What the fuck was that about?
Drug dealer, youth pastor. I mean, isn't that what they all do? They're either pedophiles or drug dealers.
Holy shit. I mean, sure, but I mean, not all of them. There are some good ones. Just the bad ones are really bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have heard of a lot of them.
Yeah, that's fair. Very fair. But yeah, he just like kept popping up like a cockroach everywhere. Just being fucking weird. It was very odd.
I honestly thought when he said he was the youth pastor and then he was like, you want some drugs? And I was like, oh, is this like that's his drug dealer name or something?
Yeah.
Go talk to the youth pastor. That's what all the kids would tell their parents.
Yeah.
I'm going to go talk to my youth pastor, and that's just their drug dealer. But he was actually the youth pastor.
Yeah. Yeah. It just seemed really silly.
Yeah.
There's got to be, again, it's just a whole town of dumbass adults who's like, yeah, that kid fucking OD'd, but he kept going to this church and I don't know. We don't need to investigate that guy. Yeah. So that was another point. And then another thing that I do not like, you have a really cool concept. You have an Aztec death whistle that carries an entity in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put it in some little shithole town in America. And the only way you're going to get any exposition is going to be a fucking lore dump from some, like, the grandma, via the grandma in this movie in particular. And it is like, she is just gypsy. She's just gypsy cosplaying. Like, she is a fortune-telling gypsy just cosplaying her way in this movie.
I think you think that because she was wearing like a scarf on her head.
No, she had cancer.
Yeah.
That's not it. She was talking in fucking riddles for no goddamn reason.
She's sick. And she's seen a lot of stuff. Like, you saw all the stuff in her house. She's got some screws loose.
Listen.
She's a little eclectic.
She was talking like Madame Zeroni.
That's fine.
In holes.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's fine.
It was not. And
It was.
That's the whole reason. You're like, yeah, this Aztec death whistle and this, like, all-white family, and that was my dipshit grandson who fucking died.
And that's what I want to know is, did he steal it?
It chose him.
I know, but so did he take it from her house? I don't know.
Also,
or is it her fault that, got her grandson?
And her daughter.
Yeah.
Too, which she died off screen. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it would have been way cooler if she died in the stands.
Did he blow it at grandma's house and mom was there or something and heard it?
We'll never know.
And that's how it followed him. I don't know. Yeah.
But that just really irritates me when we have that. And then my final least favorite scene is. And it's not necessarily a scene. It is just the cliched lover boy burnout edgelord.
Yeah.
Who's in love with a jock's shitty girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he's just the jock is a piece of shit.
Oh yeah.
So I just don't get that. And I am a sucker for a good camp in movies. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they tried too hard to make it campy.
Yeah.
And it limited what the characters could do. So for me, any scene where there is turmoil between Rel, which, while we're on this topic, what the fuck is Rel? Is his name Relish? Did they name this?
Chrysalis?
Yeah,
Chrysalis.
Yeah, chrysanthemum and Relish. What are we fucking doing here? I got a weird ass name, but
okay,
that's why.
Also, another weird ass name. Very first kill, the basketball player.
Yeah.
On his jersey, his name is Horse. And
Great
I was
name.
I was like, okay, the basketball player's name is Horse. Ha. Then they're like, oh, that was his nickname. And I'm like, they put his nickname on the back of his jersey.
He's just fucking cool like that, dude.
It's so stupid.
That guy's got swag. We'll call it.
Where's Pig?
Hey, we fucking dude, don't bring Pig into this. What are we doing? No, Yeah, Rel sucked. Okay, Rel sucked.
Yeah.
The actor did a good job with what he was given. That's all I got. Like, you made him this fucking weird edgelordy kid who somehow gets kind of into the popular group. It's like Bad Breakfast Club, like you talked about.
Yeah.
So I just don't get it.
No.
And that's my final least favorite scene and gripe.
Okay.
In this, at least in this section.
Okay.
So favorites. I have a couple. You have one.
I have one that I was like, well, it's pretty cool. Another one, I have some favorites of other things, but I put them in effects, which they could kind of be in the scenes, but it wasn't really the scene that I thought was cool, the scene
Okay.
overall. It was just that part of the scene, I guess. So,
Okay.
yeah. So favorite scene kind of overall was that hay bale maze. It was really cool. All I could think about was like, holy shit, how long would it have taken to actually, like, in real life, put that thing together? And that's a lot of freaking hay.
Oh yeah, because it's like what, 20, probably 20 feet high.
Well, it was like 6 bales high,
Oh,
6, 7
Was it
bales
only 6?
high.
I thought it was like 8 to 10 bells high.
No,
but
because I literally counted, because there was a time or two I was like,
you did.
well, because I was like, just climb over it. You can put your feet in between in the bales. They're just square bales. They're not that thick. Just climb up it. Like, they'd get to a dead end, be like, oh my God, I'm trapped. And I was like, it's not that high. Climb up.
I thought it was cool.
No, it was cool. Like, it was a cool, like, it was a cool maze. And they did that overshot of it, which once it got to a point, you're like, oh, there's the CGI.
Yeah.
And, but it was a cool maze, and I liked how it was hay. It wasn't a corn maze, because it's always,
it was
always
a
a
fun
corn
take.
maze.
I mean, because that's the only kind of haunted maze that you and I have been through is a corn maze. So it's like, okay, which is still fun, super cool.
Well, because I mean, it makes more sense because they'll just go through and they'll cut it, you know. Whereas that maze, I mean, that hay bale maze, having to set that whole thing up,
it was sick.
But it was cool, and I liked how it was it wasn't just a maze.
Okay.
They had scare actors. They had little things. Again, there was stupid little things, like they got to a turn or to a fork, and he had to like spin the wheel, and that's what told you whether to go left or right or choose. And so he like spun the wheel, and then he stood there for 2 seconds, and then they just started walking off, like the wheel's still going. I was like,
yeah, we did get a slow shot on that, and it was like, choose your fate.
yeah, but it was after he'd already walked off,
Yeah.
and I was like, why did you even spin the fucking wheel?
Just to be a jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid fucking jackass kids.
Yeah. Okay. I also loved the hay bale maze, so I'm not going to talk about that too much.
Okay.
This might be a little controversial.
Okay.
Because I know that you fucking absolutely hated the gas leak thing. But the fact that most of the story is told in the first scenes, you understand what the entity is hunting.
Yeah.
You understand that nobody else can see it because it shows it in the stands. It shows it around him. So it is like a 1-for-1 haunting, right? You also get that there was the whistle. You understand that breaking the whistle doesn't fix it, like a lot of the tropes. You can't just fucking throw the ring into the volcano, Lord of the Rings style, to make the haunting stop. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then it gives you more of the supernatural aspect of the item itself, because very quickly, obviously Chrysanthemum gets her hands on it. But why was Horse's locker never fucking cleaned out in the first place?
Yeah.
Also, if Grandma knew that she unleashed a cursed object upon this small town, instead of just being a fucking weirdo in her mansion, why not, hey, I'm going to go look at my dead grandson's shit and see if I can find my fucking whistle that's probably worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, not probably. We know it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah. It was
We saw it.
almost $37,000 is what he was going to try to get for it.
Exactly. So for me, I was just like, okay, I really enjoyed this. It was probably the best pacing of action of the whole movie, which is really sad that it's the opening scene.
And I totally agree with you on it was a good opening for setup where you're not trying to guess it. and figure out like what's going on. It set it up easily understandable. And the whole gas leak explanation, that is the part, like, it was a cool death, you know, but the gas leak, them just saying, oh yeah, it was just gas leak, and that's what they just blew it off. And I was like, just leave that out. Just say undetermined.
Yeah.
Under investigation.
Yeah. Pending.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been fine. My second point was the hay maze. So again, just super fucking cool.
Yeah.
Cool effects, really fun. I want to go there.
Yeah.
Let me play in that. Next point, when Ellie bonks herself with a shovel. Shit made me laugh. I laughed so fucking hard.
The fact that they both fell down.
Yeah, and then like, oh fuck, I'm hitting myself. You're just like, okay, I'm here for this.
Well, and that is part of one of my points later, something that did not make sense. I like the fact that it's like, that is you. The entity is you, and so anything you do to it is about to reflect on you.
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny too.
Yeah, I mean, I laughed out loud. Bailey did not enjoy it because she was dead asleep, and I did, and I just it was fucking hilarious. My next one, the first gore-filled scene with Dean's death.
Yeah,
which I know is one of your favorite effects, so we can kind of talk about that now. When you have a cutaway of the, like we talked about, the physical interaction of, okay, I did this, then this happened, and then the physics of it, right? So getting to watch the body get mangled like it is in a severe traumatic car wreck.
Yeah.
Where it's like piece by piece is happening, and then the audio overlaid, like you can hear the vehicle flipping, you can hear the horns blaring, you can hear all this. But the setup for that scene I also thought was really effective. Everything past him just being a fucking sad weirdo on his bed with an engagement ring, though he's in high school, which... Hey,
he knew what he had. He was going to lock it down.
Fair.
That's understandable. But,
that's fair. Maybe it was for love, though. Anyway, so after all that, you know, some of the entity starts to really fuck with him, opens the bedroom door, and basically makes it to where he blocks that door, thinking that that's the way the entity's coming in. Only for his family, his parents, to be the ones that are locked out. He turns around and this thing just pops out of the closet because it doesn't fucking need doors.
No.
So I was like, that's really cool. I like that. And then getting to see like the glimmer of him with the glass and shit hanging out of his face was fucking badass. That
whole death scene was so cool. I mean, just that's like I said, you could see the car crash happening, but it wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like how it was just like the cutaway where you could just see what was happening to the body in a car crash without anything obscuring it. That was cool.
Yeah, and that was the only scene where we saw concerned parents.
That was the only scene we saw parents.
Other than
at the basketball game.
Yeah, at the background of the basketball game, and then in the background of the like carnival thing.
Yeah,
but like we're not counting that. But like an actual participant in the movie, parents.
Like we never saw parents anywhere else.
Yeah. So that was pretty wild.
Yeah.
And of course, like Dean deserved to die because he just sucked. He was the worst.
Yeah, he was fucking drunk driving all the time, and I mean, I guess if he was like grieving his, teammate friend's death, and then now he's grieving his like girlfriend's death, but still, he was a piece of shit.
Yeah. My final favorite scene is, I think, also another one of your favorite effects. It's the other gore scene.
Oh yeah,
where Rel gets just decimated by the industrial like crusher. That was really fucking cool because the physicality of the body being pulled in was. It's one of those things like if you can get rid of your disbelief and give it like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. He just turns into hamburger meat. But how aggressive like it would pull and how he would lurch
Mhm.
forward. I was like, that's fucking wild. And they're
Yeah.
holding on to him, trying to keep him from having this fate.
Yeah, just they're
Yeah.
they're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, but Chris also is the reason that Rel died, because Rel was going to make the shitty drug dealer die and didn't. So
Yeah.
I blame Chrysanthemum for Rel's death. R.I.P. Relish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a really cool effect, and we'll just keep rolling there with favorite effects.
So yeah, my favorite effect was those 2 death scenes, the car crash, simulated death, and then that like industrial crusher, which is like an industrial paper shredder looking death. And so they knew it was coming, or at least Rel knew that's how he was going to die. He had put those pieces together. I don't know that Dean did. I think there might have been a flash because his dad made the comment. He's like, you better not be drinking and driving again. First off, there goes your credibility as a parent.
Yeah, you should have just taken the fucking keys.
Yeah, you better not be drinking and driving again. He's like, you're going to kill yourself one day. And there was that kind of flash of, because he had seen the thing. I just don't know how much of it he was like believing.
Yeah.
So you had seen his death, just mangled body, but you don't know yet what that means.
Yeah.
Like how the death's actually gonna happen. And then when the dad said that, you're like, oh, he's gonna die in a car crash.
Oh, 100%.
And so then you see it, but like I said, the way it was played out was so cool because it was like, especially on that car crash, it was like slow motion. He was feeling everything. And like so it made me think like the fingers like bent back and broke. So, a lot of the times in a car crash, your knuckles are busted because like they go into the dash, like from the steering wheel. And so he had already been thrown back and it did like a semi horn. So he had been like thrown back and then forward. So it made me think he was like going through the windshield and then he was getting all cut up and then his head was crushed. So it makes me think he was ejected.
Yeah. And then you forgot about like where it bisects the arm.
Oh, yeah.
Like from the, what is it? The ring finger and the middle finger, I think is
it
what it was.
Right in the middle.
And it just goes all the way down to the middle of his forearm, which I was like, that's pretty gnarly.
Yeah. So that's either metal or probably not a windshield because the way they shatter. But could have been metal. But there was like the air blowing, it was like that, I don't know, like it looked like a leaf blower he was getting. And so I was like, maybe he just like walked out into the road or something.
No, I think that's where that was showing him getting ejected.
Yeah.
Like with all of the wind that was causing the sound effects. It was like him being ejected out of the car.
Okay.
So that's kind of where my mind went.
Oh, but that, and then his like rib cage breaking open.
Yeah. It was cool because we almost got a blood eagle, which is completely made up and it's just for shits and gigs, but yeah, whatever.
So yeah, that and the legs and stuff. And then his parents walking in and just seeing him standing there just mutilated.
And then he flops.
And then he just collapses because, like all of his bones are broken. And he just collapses to the floor like a blob.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that one was...
Another gas leak. Got another good man.
Yeah, like, what are the parents thinking? Which, I don't even know if they'd seen him. Obviously, the dad was, like, talking to him through the door the night before. And then he's, like... tweaking out because he shoves the door closed. First off, the hand coming around the door and like the broken fingers.
It was
like,
good.
That was good.
Yeah.
And then he slams the door. So he's like, he's talking completely normal. They know he's fine, but he's like freaking out about something. And then the next thing they know, they've busted into his room and he's just, like I said, mutilated.
Yeah. He looked like hamburger meat. Like
so that is the only one where, what did the parents think happened? Like, if I was the parent of the first kid, it'd be like, gas leak?
Yeah, my ass, dude. What are we talking about?
Like, oh, yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that one, and then, that industrial crusher, just the the feeding, and you're not seeing anything, but you're just starting to see just the hand and everything disappear, and it's just bloody spray.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the girls are just yanking on him and just fighting a losing battle because there's no way they're gonna stop it. The only way they maybe could have stopped it, which I don't know if it's like once it started, that's it,
Mm-hmm.
is had they gotten some blood and gone and whopped it on the other guy. But maybe once it started, it's just like, well,
Yeah, it's like game over.
so they're just, and then finally when they can't fight anymore, and it's like he gets sucked the rest of the way into this crusher.
Well, it's like from his shoulder down to like underneath his pec that's gone.
Yeah.
Right? And they did do like the fun campy thing where he like turns around and the one arm that's left fucking walks towards Chrysanthemum, and you're like, okay, you know what? I know that that's completely far-fetched, but I do love that effect.
Yeah.
Like,
and then instead of doing like a CGI like blood burst and the spurting blood, I mean, it was good.
yeah.
But when the rest of him gets, like sucked in there, instead of doing, like I said, like a cheesy like blood burst, it was a good mist. Like that was a practical effect, like pink mist.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good, and you're watching through it and you're seeing the girls, and their reaction to it was great. It wasn't like over the top, but it was also like a genuine reaction, even though they knew this stuff was coming. They've already seen a couple of things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like his cousin, but yeah, and you just see it's just pink mist just falling. It was good. So those two deaths were my favorite because the effects on them were good. They didn't look like shitty CGI. They also did some good practical effect in there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I agree. Both of those were on my favorite effects list.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just skip down to my next one. The audio for the Aztec death whistle.
Okay.
The one time that it was blown was fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
I loved like the duration that they did. Like the director really figured out that this is how it needs to be. We see all of the characters' reaction to it as it is like ear-splittingly loud.
Well, and we had seen a partial reaction to it from the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
All we had seen was it cracked the window.
Yep.
And then a few seconds later, you see his just like, he's kind of shaky. So you don't immediately see it. So you're like, okay, maybe it's just unsettling, or, was it a silent thing where only the person blowing it can hear it? You're not sure.
Yeah.
But then when they finally did it, yeah. And it kind of distorted the screen. So, yeah.
I fucks with it. I think it was really, really
and I
cool.
I agree with what you said earlier that just doing it the once made it more effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did think that at the end that girl was just going to blow it in the middle of the busy hallway.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm here for that.
I was thinking about that. I wondered, it's like, go do it over the PA. Like, hey, we need help figuring this thing out. So now y'all are all going to have to help. Otherwise, you're all going to die. Or would it like water it down if it's trying to like haunt all these people at once? And
yeah, make it go from like Breakfast Club to The Monkey, where it's just the whole fucking town's falling apart.
Yeah.
So no, I'm in for that. Another one that a really good effect for me was the way that they shot the interior and exterior of the maze itself. That is one of the like very big highlights for the cinematography, which I did talk about a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, number one, all the tight angle shots were fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
The scare actor shots were good because it kept the composition of the shot itself.
I was gonna say something in that maze. Do you think that was a Tucker and Dale versus Evil, like, not cameo, but like a little callback,
like a nod?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
like the hussy. I mean, because I was like, that's Dale, because he like came out with a chainsaw. I don't know. I had to go look because I was like trying to find any connections, because he didn't have any kind of like gore makeup on or anything, and I was like, that's just a that's just a country boy with a chainsaw.
That's just cousin Eddie, dude.
And I was like, that's Dale, because it literally
Yeah.
looked like his character. So I thought that was funny.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, obviously the director was a huge fanboy of The Crow, because we got that whole angsty Avenger cosplay makeup on
God.
Rel as he sits there on his roof holding the teddy bear that
Yeah.
he won. Just for the meat grinder, which I mean, the meat grinder effect was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rain turning into blood. I was like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fucking sick. And then I
Well,
remember
and that was
this
a good
is-
way to show his death, because with, the entity could pop up for the other ones.
Yeah.
Made sense. That one was probably going to be harder. So
Yeah,
it was
just
it was more
see the
it was more giving him a vision of just how he was going to die. So
yeah. But those are my favorite scenes. You ready to dig deeper?
sure.
Okay. How did this movie make you feel?
So in the beginning, I've already said this, I really was not vibing with it. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And I did. I caught myself on my phone a couple of times just in that beginning, going through the detention thing, and then the impromptu sort of pool party study session, I guess.
Happens all the time.
And I really was like, damn, I am going to shit on this movie in this review because this is going to suck so bad. And then once it started getting to the more actual like horror part and the kills, I was like, okay. It's redeemed itself a little bit. So, just had to get through the shitty beginning. So, I would just say some weak writing, but cool deaths and effects.
Yeah. I think that really lends itself to the entire movie.
Yeah.
I think from start to finish. A little bit better writing, a little more polish,
Yeah.
a little better pacing. This would have been
Mhm.
substantially better. Okay. For me, I mean, I didn't hate it. I just wish there was more reasoning behind the Aztec death whistle.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been way cooler if we had like an Aztec descendant that was part of this, or there was like a heist or something like that that kind of led to this artifact being in the hands.
Found it in a thrift store or something.
Yeah.
It popped up there.
Not just
Not
my-
crazy grandma that has had this thing the whole time.
traveled the whole world.
She knew how dangerous it was and didn't do anything to keep it contained better, I guess.
Yeah, she basically like
Or
had a
return
sentient
it.
gun that was just like out terrorizing, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Well, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm withering away."
Yeah.
So that was one of my bigger gripes. I think the movie suffers from like too long of a runtime, like we talked about. I think it was just over 2 hours.
No, so earlier when I asked you, I was like, how long is it? And you're like 2 hours. I was like, shoot me. It was actually only an hour 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, it felt so much longer.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have to pause to go vote, but other than that,
There were times and it felt like it skipped forward where it was giving like, oh, here's the explanation. Here, we're gonna just give this to you real quick.
yeah.
So I think because it felt like it progressed so quickly, it made it feel longer.
Yeah,
I guess.
to me, it felt like they got to the cutting room floor and saw that there was so much exposition that needed to be said.
Yeah.
Like you had to be spoon fed, or you were just completely lost because the cinematography didn't tell the story completely.
It's like, how are we gonna explain this? Crazy grandma.
Yep.
Enter crazy grandma.
Yeah. Enter crazy grandma.
Yeah.
It had some good effects. The camp killed it for me. Like I said, and not in the good way. Didn't kill it for me in the good way. Killed it for me in the very limited space that you gave these actors.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna do camp, completely commit and don't take it that serious.
Yeah.
So that's really it for me. Like as a whole, I was surprised and disappointed somehow.
Yeah.
It was a juicy contradiction in
Yeah.
this. Scott, it's just
That's a good surprised but underwhelmed at times.
yeah.
I agree with that.
Okay, now we can go to my favorite part of our little back and forth here.
Okay.
Is the questions.
Questions.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Okay.
Okay. How often do school teachers really study enough Aztec culture to facilitate an in-depth knowledge of the language straight off of the dome? Because I know the teachers that I had in high school couldn't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Some
Like,
of them couldn't even play
what's your
alimony.
criminal background or something that you have that knowledge that you're not teaching at a college
I was a
somewhere?
Cambridge professor, but I came to shithole nowhere.
Yeah, New York.
Get out of here, dude.
Yeah.
No. Why did we use Chris's Jimmy Neutron brain blast moment when seeking the comic book to put us in the location of the closing act? Rel, fucking, I don't know where he's gone. And then they go in like, oh, fuck, this comic book that he needs. And she just puts it together.
Why did that lead her? Now, okay, I know at the very beginning, and this is probably one of the times that I kind of zoned out because I was not in it. I remember him saying something about the Revenger and the steel mill in the same sentence or conversation. So whatever that link was that I don't remember, I just remember him talking about those two things and I was like, okay, whatever. That must have been the connection, but I don't remember what the connection was.
So he called back his own memories of the steel mill. Like
Okay.
that same audio cue from the very beginning comes back to him where he's like, I'm volunteering at the steel mill. Then he puts it together, or like he's working it on the weekends.
Was he working there to
on the weekends.
get his comic books or something to pay for them?
I don't know. Or to like go get a sword. Like he seems like a guy that would buy like way too many swords. Like walk around in the mall with like thick boots.
So it was like a stretch connection that they had to like plant early on.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Chris, just Jimmy, like I said, just Jimmy fucking Neutron, dude. And I hate that shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever. If a comic book can do that for you, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
My final question is, why was the drug dealer pasture even a fucking thing? Like, it felt so forced, and we needed a bad guy that wasn't the entity. We could have made Grandma the villain. I'd have been happy with that.
Yeah. It was forced.
Also,
very
why
forced.
didn't Grandma like listen, kids, I'm gonna die like any second. Rub some blood on me.
Yeah.
Like,
Be a martyr. Like, you know, make your death useful.
yeah. Sorry, I'm the reason that this is in this podunk town.
Yeah.
Fucking, my bad, G.
Yeah.
And then just take one. You know, like a real one would.
Yeah, like she gave them the answer on how to save themselves, but she didn't offer herself up, and then she just died.
Yeah.
She's like, "Hey, I'm about to die. Rub some blood on me."
Put
Which
a
I
little
guess
blood on me.
it probably wouldn't have mattered because it had to be like a certain timing. But
Look, Chris's entity was right behind her. We saw it in that scene, like 2 steps away.
yeah, but it wasn't time.
Yeah, I wish we knew when people were going to die, or like what
Yeah.
the timing was supposed to be. But, you know, that's about it. What about your questions?
Okay, so this encapsulates so many of the issues could have been fixed with this one thing. Why was it not set at a college? Why were they not college students?
Yeah, you could.
First off, the professor, the
Mhm.
teacher, could have been a professor of, you know, a history professor that specialized at some point in his background in ancient Aztec. Sure, he could be in Albuquerque, New Mexico and know ancient Egyptian, but it makes more sense at a college than a high school.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
So that fixes that issue. Like,
Okay.
you're
But what
not-
about making all of these people in forced proximity?
Yeah, fucking college. Like, parents were talked about, but hardly ever seen. They
Mhm.
did not play any part of this. So they could have just been at college. Let's see, what else? The girl working at the hospital
Mm-hmm.
would have made more sense because she would have been like of legal age. Would have made more sense.
Yep.
That she was, you know, actually fit in some capacity to actually work in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weird, quirky. I think you would get more from weird, quirky character choices out of like college, because like when we were at college, there was a fucking freaks.
Yeah, but they're just like running around, and I'm like, y'all are supposed to be in high school, but no parents in sight. This shit's going on.
Yeah, you're buying drugs in broad fucking daylight.
Yeah.
Like, if you've put the entire crime ring of this town on one cockroach youth pastor.
Yeah, and he could have just not been a youth pastor.
Yeah.
Like, he could have just been, the local college drug dealer.
Yeah. If Rel was this righteous hero, the Avenger, why didn't you just fucking call the cops?
Yeah. So that was one of my biggest things is like it made no sense. It was such an easy change. Would have been such an easy change for it to be set at a college because not a lot even happened at the school.
Mm-hmm.
They could make it look like a college easy. Just those few couple classrooms. So that I don't know. Made no sense. So I do have an issue with the drug dealer youth pastor.
Everybody should.
Yeah. What was his death supposed to be?
I think you drowned.
Because it looked like a bloated corpse.
Yeah.
So then he ended up dying from the self-inflicted gunshot wounds because he's shooting the entity.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's bouncing just like we had seen with the shovel. So we knew that was going to happen.
Yep.
But that completely negates the point that Rel made when he goes after the pastor with the gun. And then the pastor takes it from him, turns it on him, and he's just like, go ahead. He's like, this isn't how I die. You're not going to kill me. And shoots, but it misfires or jams or whatever. So he proved that point that he knew this is not how I'm going to die. Like, you literally cannot kill me with this gun because that's not how I'm supposed to die. But then we see how pastor's supposed to die. This like bloated corpse.
Yeah.
Possibly looks like a drowning. But yet he dies from the gunshot wounds. So I don't know, negates that.
I mean, it's self-inflicted.
So, I know, but it just, that should have, going by these rules of this entity, that wouldn't have killed him.
Look, maybe they forgot. Did you ever think about that?
Oh, no. I mean, I could see they're like, oh, yeah, we did do that. Oh, well, it's fine.
I like it.
So, yeah, those were my two biggest questions, I guess. But the very first one was just my question with the whole movie. Would have just fixed a lot of issues. Why was it not set in a college?
Gotcha. Okay. Now we get into gripes and kudos to finish this off.
So this is where I had some stuff in like detail gripes. So I was like, that's not even like a detail gripe. That's a big gripe. So I had to put it up in like just least favorite scenes. So I had a couple. One of them I've already talked about was, how is this 16, 17-year-old? We don't think she's 18 because the guy that died, the basketball player, she even said like, oh, he was 17 and they're like all the same age, we think. How is she just like working at an ER with access to everything? So that was one of mine. The other one, issue with the same girl. So it shows early on that she's a diabetic. She's like taking some insulin. And so we knew that already. So then she sees her death at one point. She knows it. And so then she goes to like tell the group, I saw my death too. And she said, it was some sort of seizure.
Oh.
Like, girl, you're a diabetic. I wonder what kind of seizure it was.
Look, I mean, it's very likely that it could have been a diabetic
I
seizure.
know, but
And
the way she said it was some sort of seizure. It's like, really?
Look, at least they didn't treat it like Hansel and Gretel witch hunters where Jeremy Renner had the sugar disease.
The sugar disease.
Yeah. So let's not nitpick too hard. We're not going to be ableist in here. Okay?
Yeah.
She just had a momentary lapse in judgment.
Miss, I work at an ER and I'm going to be a future doctor and I'm a diabetic and I see my death and I'm seizing, but I don't know what kind of seizure it is. Can't be sure.
Mm.
Just stupid.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It was very odd and very nonsensical.
Yeah.
What else for gripes or kudos?
Those were really my only two for just the little stuff. I've already griped about everything else, I think.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
All right. We've talked about it already. The pacing was bad. I think that the runtime could have been reduced by like 20 minutes and we would have had a much more concise, tight movie
Yeah.
if we didn't throw a bunch of stupid exposition in there and actually had a better plot.
Yeah. Or even just making those weak scenes, just polishing them up a little bit, and that runtime would have been fine.
Yeah.
An hour 40 minutes is a solid runtime for a horror movie. Hour 30 is kind of typical. Once it gets to 2 hours, we're stretching it. Has to be, like Hokum. It's got to be good to be able to, last that long and hold attention and not just dive off. So hour 40 is a great runtime. It just had, you kind of said that it was like in and in, it'd go up and down, and it would have those good and then it would tank.
Yeah.
So if they had just polished off some of those weak scenes, the runtime would have been fine.
No, for sure. And that's the thing I think that we get with some of the more modern runs of horror movies is we get really cool, really over the top, fun ideas and effects.
Mhm.
And I want people to keep doing weird stuff. Give me more Iron Lung. Give me more Hokum. Give me these cool stories that are unique and fun, and go for it. Like, fully send it. But don't fucking write a bad movie with terrible dialogue and put these really cool scenes in, because that's what's saving your movie.
Yeah.
When just a little bit of more planning maybe or like tweaking would have given you so many more options.
Yeah.
So that's kind
it's
of
like
where...
they obviously had a budget, or at least some favors they called in, I guess.
Yeah.
But it could have been so much better easily.
Agreed.
So it's just like, okay, were we just being lazy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It felt weird. The character tropes to me fell flat. I feel like they hindered the actor's ability to do their job because we were so focused on stereotypes and keeping everybody in their lane instead of making them feel like real fucking people.
Just lazy.
Yeah.
They're just pulling tropes out of a hat.
Yeah.
Stereotypes out of
a hat. And it
hat.
wasn't even the fun, like, campy tropes like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, like stoner, like burnout.
Yeah.
Goody.
Like I said with Breakfast Club, the brain, the burnout, the princess, the basket case, and the criminal. Like, you could fit all 5 of those. You could assign one of those to each of those characters.
Which one was the brain?
The redheaded girl. They even straight up called her the brain at one point.
But she wasn't the blonde-haired girl who was writing the fucking 5-page paper.
Who cares? She was the princess. The jock. I didn't say the jock.
Yeah, the jock.
We had the jock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then the criminal and the basket case. You could flip between the cousins.
Oh yeah, that whole family tree's got to be fucked.
Because the girl had OD'd, so it was like she'd been doing drugs. She can be the criminal, but she can also be the basket case. But honestly, I think you could flip either one of those.
Maybe it's a metaphor.
So it's literally, it's like they pulled the stereotypes. What are the most basic stereotypes we can make of a teen movie?
Yeah, and it sucked. Yeah. The movie was not the worst in the world. Like, I would still say go watch it in the event. My final gripe: fuck Dean. What a shit character.
Yeah,
he was,
even for the jock. He sucked.
It would not have surprised me to see Dean run over a sack of puppies. Like, he was just the worst.
Yeah, the fact that she like kneed him in the balls like early on, I was like, he deserved that.
Yeah. And then he was just a douche even after that. So for me, like, that's my gripe. Fuck Dean. Terrible character. What a fucking loser. Who is this movie for?
If you like Cool Kills, it felt new.
Yeah.
I mean, go watch it for the Cool Kills. I said fans of Final Destination because it gave similar vibes with the whole like cannot run your fate.
Premonition, kind of giving you hints to the deaths. Yeah.
So if you like Final Destination movies, go watch it.
Mm-hmm. If you're a fan of slaughtered youths.
Okay. Teens getting murked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you just gotta have like a good palate cleanser. Give
Yeah.
me more Friday the 13th. I'm cool with that.
You get to watch a douchey jock and a drug dealing youth pastor get kicked in the balls. So
Pretty sick.
yeah.
Pretty fucking sick.
But yeah, that's, and again, I would, if we had gone and watched it in theaters, my enjoyability probably would have been even lower just because I would have been like,
we paid money for this.
Yeah. I wasted my time, got out of my house and paid money for this. You know, if you're scrolling through streaming service and, you know, there is definitely worse choices and it could have been longer, could have been a bigger waste of time, but it had some cool kills.
Yeah. Doesn't totally redeem it, but if you get the opportunity and you're bored, go watch it.
Yeah. If you got an hour and 40 minutes that you're not worried about getting back, go watch it.
All right. Well, I think that's our take on Whistle. If you have anything you'd like to discuss down below, please do. And if you have any recommendations for cool fucking cursed object movies, let us know. We'd love to get into more of that.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, and share for more horrifying content. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay spooky.